Hi guys, welcome to Bet Formula. I wish to show you this tremendous betting system and show you this in-play second half goal tip that's been smashing the bookmakers. As you all know, second half goal betting is extremely profitable because it's in-play betting, which means you get the data during a halftime interval, and with that data, you're able to then decide which selection should have one more second half goal. Far more easier to predict goals when you have that data during the halftime interval than picking pre-match. Pretty much because you will know the scoreline, percentages of possession, and other statistics. So in-play trading, in-play betting is the best way to pick the most winners regarding strike rate for one or two more goals to be scored. Now the problem with that is, obviously, odds are pretty low at half time for one more goal to be scored. Now, most of you know when we tell people to back one of our signals, one of our tips, we tell people to wait in play to odds increase to around about a 1.5 or an odds 2. So you get your signal at half time and then you're basically waiting for odds to increase, which is a tremendously profitable way to bet. Now, what I'm going to show you is something that we've stumbled upon since improving the signal, and how we are smashing the bookmakers to pieces and make it profit for everyone following free and the premium signal. So if I take you to the premium Telegram channel, you can clearly see we provide numerous selections in a day. And I'm going to go over the spreadsheet to show you what's happened here. So this is a basic signal. If I show you the last signal that was also sent in the free Telegram channel, which you can join by clicking on the links in the comments and description section, you can see the odds. Now this one ended 1-1. So there wasn't two goals in this, but it ended up 1.18 at the halftime interval. So this was sent at the halftime interval, odds 1.18, and then the odds for two more goals, that would have been over 2.5 goals in this case, was a 1.8. So once you receive this signal, you can do one of two things. You can back just one more goal. Once odds increase to maybe a 1.25, a 1.5 and a 2, or you can back for two more goals at 1.8 or wait till the odds increase to 2. Now what you could potentially do, because a lot of these signals are having two goals in, and we will show you shortly, if you have a goal, let's say in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, and you haven't got up to maybe the odds 1.5 you was looking for, you can then potentially say, do you know what? These have got such a good chance of two goals in the second half. I'm going to wait till the odds increase to maybe a 1.5, a 1.75 or an odds 2. And then I'm going to place the bet. So basically, the fact that we've got a high strike rate for second half goals now is tremendous. And this is why this signal and these tips are so good to in-play bet. Let me take you to the spreadsheet. We can clearly see over the course of 55 selections, 91% strike rate. Now, let me just add, there's been tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of signals already tested before these 55. So these 55 are a run-on of signals that haven't been as good as this one. So 91% clearly indicates if you back one more goal at whatever odds, you will profit. What this means is even if you bet at the opening price at halftime, you'll profit. If you wait for 1.25, you will profit. If you wait for 1.5, you will profit. 1.75 and 2, it doesn't matter. You will profit. Okay. So obviously, if goals are scored before odds 1.5 or 2 are reached, you won't get on this 91% strike rate. Okay. So that's a problem for a lot of people. That was the main problem with this signal. So what we decided to do was create the biggest, best signal for second half goals. And we started calculating how many second half goals would be scored. Now, obviously, you're going to have a lower strike rate for two more goals because it's clearly higher risk, but we hit a staggering 75% strike rate for two more goals in the second half. Now, this isn't over the course of 10 or 20 signals. We can get lucky. This was 55 signals, 75% strike rate for two more goals. Now, why this is imperative is because we showed you an example where the price was 1.18 for one more goal at halftime, but 1.8 for two more goals. What this means is a few minutes into the second half on the bet for exchange, for instance, or 5 minutes in, you could be up to a 1.9 or a 2. Some of these signals will probably start around about odds 2. So you've got the option to back for 2 more goals. And once again, if you are backing for 1 more goal and your odds are not reached, then you can jump in and back for 2 more goals, because we know we have a 75% chance. And it stands to reason if a goal goes in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the first, for the start of the second half, then that selection has an even more chance of having a second half goal, because you have, 40 to 45 minutes plus injury time left in that match. So what this basically means for everybody following our signals in the free or premium Telegram channel, you have the option to actually trade the way you wish. Meaning if you are at your screen on a busy weekend and you're tracking a few matches and the early goals go in, you can then back still for another goal to be scored in the second half. If you're a little bit lazy, or you have a sports book instead of exchange, you could maybe just back for 2 more goals in the second half of all of the signals, or the signals you find seem a little bit better than others. But we're showing you that this makes money for 1 more goal and 2 more goals. And this has been a long time coming with this signal. We've tried this before and failed for 2 more goals. The reason we started recording 2 more goals is because we saw the tremendous success. First of all, 2 more goals in this day on the 14th, no losses. On the second day, 4-2, 18-8, 17-4. So we can clearly see the pattern. So get involved in the free Telegram channel. Links are in the comments. Get involved in the premium, because no matter which way you like to bet, you will make money. So what's the staking? What do we advise? Well, we never advise you stake more than 5% per match. So what this means is, if you're only betting on, let's say, 2 more second half goals, 5% of your bankroll should be the top level that you bet. And 5% is risky. Okay. But if the strike rate stays high, why not? If you want to take low risk, do 2.5%. So what this means in layman's terms, if you are backing first half goals if you are backing 1 more second half goal and 2 more second half goals, make sure your combined stake isn't more than 5%. It's quite safe, really. So you might want to back odds 1.5 at like 2.5% of your bankroll, and back the opening price at the halftime interval for 2 more goals at 2.5%. That could be a good strategy for you. Then with the first half goal, you can get in at any odds point. You can get a 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and 2, etc., etc. You could potentially stake your 5% all across for 1 more goal to be scored. Or if you wish to obviously do the 2 more goals because the odds are high, you can stake your 5% there, or you can split it between. Obviously, it gets a little bit complicated because everybody wants to get in at different odds points. But fundamentally, no more than 5% across any one match, and you will profit. Keep it simple. Find a way that you like to bet. If you are an experienced in-play trader, obviously you're going to know, a match you're going to want to, back 1 more goals. And if a goal scored, back another goal. That's clear. I'm not going to try to tell you experienced traders what to do. But the main point is, these signals are tremendous for 1 more goal. These signals are tremendous for 2 more goals. And that's 5% of your bank, with the majority of the selections sent on the weekends, obviously when there's loads and loads of action. So if you're a weekend better, because you only have the weekends free, this is for you. You can make profit if you just have 1 evening free, if I'm being honest with you. It's tremendous. So all you guys that also want to, place your own bets and do your own thinking, there's plenty of scope for that with this signal. There's plenty of choices to decide on 1 more goal or 2 more goals, or if an early goal's in, do you back another? So you guys are basically given the blueprint and a formula and a tool to make your in-play trading better. And if you're not an experienced trader and you want the signal to do all the thinking for you, your only decision then has to be, are you backing just 1 more goal, or are you backing 2 more goals? That's something you will decide very, very early on. Anyway, guys, I hope this has been as eye-opening for you as it has for me, because the 75% strike rate is outstanding for 2 more second half goals. But once again, the 91% strike rate for 1 more goal in the second half indicates just how clean and clear into profit we are using this signal. Anyway, guys, please like and subscribe for more fantastic football bet formula content.